Hello children, welcome to 7th Science online classes. Fiber to fabric. In this lesson, in the last class, we studied about types of fibers, plant fibers and animal fibers. And we learned one animal fiber, that is wool. From which animals obtaining the wool and selective breeding, etc. we learned in that last class. And today we are going to study processing fibers into wool. From fibers to wool. In market, wool we generally get is the wool obtained from sheep. So sheep wool is the common in market. In order to obtain wool, sheep are reared. Reared means take care of the animal by providing them food and shelter. Take care or look after the animals. That is called reared. So their hairs are then cut and processed into wool. And rearing and breeding of sheep. So rearing means, I already told you, rearing means take care of the animal by providing them food and shelter. And breeding means reproduction by selecting good parents and get good babies. That is called breeding. And by rearing of sheep or any other animal, we means to look after it by providing them food, shelter and health care. The persons who look after sheep are called shepherds, that you know. Sheep are reared mainly for wool. Okay, so we also reared cows, goat, like that. So we mainly look after them for milk. But for sheep, reared mainly for wool. They are reared in areas with low rainfall. In India, you would be able to see shepherds taking their herds of sheep to grazing in plains of states like Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan and Gujarat. You can also find herds of sheep to grazing in hilly states also, for example, Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttaranchal, Arunachal Pradesh and Sikkim. Processing fibers into wool. Processing fibers into wool involves the following steps. So in this processing, we have to study many steps, and that all steps are very, very important. So all of you listen carefully. Step 1 is shearing. Step 1, shearing. S-H-E-A-R-I-N-G. Shearing. So step 1, shearing. And what is shearing? The removal of wool from sheep is called shearing. So what is shearing? The removal of wool from sheep is called shearing. So in this picture you can see that one person removing the wool from the body of the sheep. So that process is called shearing. That is the step 1. The removal of wool from sheep is called shearing. It can be done manually with large razor or with a shearing machine. So shearing machine or large razor, we can remove the wool. Then shearing is usually done during hot season. Why? Because in winter season that sheep need that wool, because that wool gives the protection from cold. So only in the hot season shearing process done. It is important to note that shearing does not hurt sheep or does not harm sheep because uppermost layer of the skin of sheep is dead. So when removing this wool, it will not harm or it will not hurt that sheep. So I just understand the process. What is shearing? Shearing is the removal of wool from sheep. That process is called shearing. Step 2 is scouring. Scouring. It is pronounced as scouring. And what is scouring? The sheared hair. Sheared means shaved hair. Shearing means we can call it as it is a shaving process. Removal of hair, or it is called shaving. So that sheared hair or shaved hair is thoroughly washed in tanks to remove dust, dirt and grease. This process is called scouring. So you can see here in this picture, in a factory, many tanks are there, and tanks containing hot water, and the wool or a sheared hair is thoroughly washed for removing dust, dirt and grease. It is then passed through series of rollers and dryers. So many rollers are here. So through the rollers it come, and we get the dried hair or dried wool. That process is called scouring. So what is scouring? Scouring is the sheared hair thoroughly washed. That process is called scouring. Step 3, sorting. Sorting means separating. Clean hairs after scouring are then sent to factory where hairs of different textures are separated or sorted. This process is called sorting. So some wools textures are different. Some are long, some are rough, some are soft. So that different textures of wool separated. That process is called sorting. So in this picture you can see that a lady is sorting the wool. Then step 4 is removing burr. B-U-R-R, burr. Removing burr. Burrs are soft, fluffy fibers in the wool. These burrs are picked out from the hair. So actually burrs means the unwanted fluffy fibers. So when we are making the fiber or fabric, we have to remove that burr. So you can see in the picture, using a brush, they remove the burr. So that is the 4th step. Step 5 is dyeing. D-Y-E-I-N-G. Dyeing means coloring. The natural fleece of sheep is white, brown or black. We know that sheep wool color or fleece color, hair color is white, brown or black. These fibers are dyed in different colors. So in this picture, that fiber gives blue color. Okay, so that process giving color to the fiber is called dyeing. And the last step, that is step 6, is making yarn. In this step, the wool is straightened, combed and spun into yarn. So this is the spinning process. Here is the wool, and the wool is straightened and spinning, and we can call it as yarn. After spinning, the wool is either woven or knitted. Longer fibers are made into wool for sweaters, and after spinning, that using the fiber we can make to fabric. So that is the 6 steps to make fiber to fabric. So I'm just reading that 6 steps. Step 1, shearing. Step 2, scouring. Step 3, sorting. Step 4, removing burr. Step 5, dyeing. And step 6, making yarn. Shearing means shaving or removal of hair from the body of the sheep. Scouring means washed thoroughly to remove the dirt, dust and grease. Sorting means different textures are there, so sorting or separated the different texture wool. And next is removing burr. Burr means a soft unwanted wool or fibers. That process is called removing burr. Dyeing means give color, and the last step is making yarn, that is spinning and everything is done in this last step. So this is very important. These 6 steps are very important. So all of you study. First you read the textbook. First you, after seeing this video 2 times, read your textbook also 2 or 3 or 4 times. Okay, and that word should be by hearted. These 6 words. Okay, that steps. Okay children, so thank you, all the best.